So now it looks 2 weeks later, we're going back in the direction of DP versus Conor 3.
Really?
Like it? Yeah, that's the direction we're going. Now, the big question is, this is the big question, belt or not? That seems to be up in the air
Yeah.
still. I think there's a chance they still don't make it for the belt. How about that?
Man, I think Dustin,
You don't like the fight?
I like the fight. I think it's the fight to make. It's the third fight. I think where you run into some issues is, again, I think a couple weeks ago I said I would prefer them fighting for the championship. I
Yeah.
do believe that when you look at it as a whole, it's going
You
to look
walking that
odd.
back? You walking that back?
I'm saying it's going to look odd
Khabib
that
called you, said he's mad about that?
no, he didn't. I'm saying it's going to look odd that they're fighting for the belt when
Dustin should be fighting for a belt next.
Yes, and I do believe that him and Conor should get the trilogy going. I think you make it to where, I think you make it to where I think you make Dustin make a choice in terms of weighing what's valuable to him. You want the big fight or you want the championship?
Can't have both?
Because I think if you want the championship, you fight Oliveira. If you want the big fight, you fight McGregor again. That's what I think.
Can't have both.
But I just don't know. I don't know if they're going to give Conor a title shot right after losing like that.
One thing that Dustin told me in my conversation, he's like, look, I should get the belt right now. As you said.
I agree with that.
But here's the thing. He said, because when you're the champion, you get pay-per-view points. Dustin, you don't need to be a champion to get pay-per-view points. You should be getting pay-per-view points right now. This man's in a Super Bowl ad, for God's sakes.
But it doesn't work like that with everyone. It doesn't.
Okay, but you beat Conor McGregor, you get.
Yes, you should get it. You should get it on the back end. You go back into the McGregor fight, and if you do, that makes that decision very easy. That makes that decision whether or not to go fight for the belt or take the third fight with Conor McGregor very easy. You go fight Conor McGregor. Easy. Yes. Right? You go get
that
paid.
Check.
You go get paid. But I think that it's just very difficult from an outsider perspective to see a guy get knocked out in the way Conor did, and then him in a championship fight. But I mean, I can't really say that, right? Because Alexander Gustafsson got knocked out and fought me for the belt. So there's
certainly not the first person.
No.
Listen.
So
this is one of those things where. This is one of those things, let's be honest, where there's no real wrong answer.
No, there's no real wrong answer.
That's a good problem to have.
You know where the wrong answer is?
Who?
You know who there's a wrong answer for?
Who?
Charles Oliveira.
Why?
There's a wrong answer for Charles Oliveira now.
What do you mean?
Because if they go Gaethje versus Chandler now, and they go Conor versus Dustin and make that a title fight,
right?
You think Charles Oliveira is going to sit and then go into a title fight after that?
I see what you're saying.
Now he'll be the odd man out because the winner of Gaethje and Chandler will probably get that next championship fight. So yes, there is a wrong answer, a bad answer, and the bad answer is only for the guy that's number 5.
I want to be very clear because I know people will get mad when I say this. I want to be very clear. Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier, if we're talking about meritocracy, if we're talking about who's been the hottest, who deserves it, that should be the fight, right?
Yes.
Dustin Poirier's next fight should be for a belt.
Yes,
and he should earn the right to fight for the belt and get the biggest fight. And so if that's Conor, I won't be too upset. And it's not because I'm wanting to reward Conor McGregor. It's because I want to reward Dustin Poirier.
Mm-hmm.
He should be fighting for a belt next. Also, it's very easy to promote this fight. They're 1-1. The last one wasn't for the belt. He won, Conor won in 2014. Now there was this one in 2021. And now we go for a third one. And what about the Instagram post this morning? What did he write? What do you write?
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
This is what everyone wants.
Bro,
right?
I'm telling you. I told you.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean? Are you going to start insulting him?
I did this thing the other day, right? About mental warfare on a detail clip I put out.
Plug it. Where's it? Detail
ESPN clip, Plus. Which ESPN Plus today goes live, goes through both of the McGregor versus Poirier fights. I talked about the mental warfare. And Dustin even spoke to it himself. The aura of Conor McGregor was gone. Well, part of that aura is that at every turn he's taking shots at you. He's making you feel inadequate. He's a bit of a jerk, right? But that's okay. That was part of his game. This last approach seemed a little bit different. Did not seem like Conor McGregor was the same guy. It seems like he's going to go back to trying to be the guy that he was. The guy with a bit of an edge, right? The guy with a bit of an edge is usually the guy with a bit of an edge is usually the guy that people tune in for. Mm-hmm. Floyd Mayweather has a bit of an edge. Oscar De La Hoya had an edge. Mike Tyson has an edge. Like, those are the guys. Conor has an edge. Those
Are
are
you
the
saying
guys that,
stop being the businessman, stop being the philanthropist for a second?
bro. I think you cannot forget that also plays. Mike Tyson was so crazy that by the time you went to the fight with him, you were like, man, this dude's out of his mind. So he won a lot of fights before he even got out there, right? Conor would do that to people too. I don't think that the approach that he was in last time allowed for him to have that same impact on Dustin. And now it may be too late because Dustin just might not care anymore after knocking him out in the way that he did.
It's a tough
So
call. Tough
I think
call.
it's too. I honestly think if you're McGregor, why not take some time to try to develop some tactics
Oh, he
for
wants to come
those
back
things
in
that
May.
issued. I know, but why not take some time? So you think that by May, Connor can shore up that big hole that Dustin found in 3-4 months? Can he
He
shore that up
believes
already?
he believes that inactivity was a problem. He wants to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
Remember when he lost to Diaz 5 months later, he came back and he was banged up after the first Diaz fight, and also beat Diaz in August. Came back relatively quickly. Came back 3 months later after he was banged up in that fight to fight Eddie Alvarez. So I think Connor is at his best when he is active.
No, I do. I understand the activity, but in the Diaz fight, right? It looked like Connor thought he was going to knock him out, and he fatigued himself. Uh, Connor got kind of pieced up in that fight with the leg kicks. That's something that you have to take time to fix. You have to take time learning how to see him coming. You got to take time to kind of figure out how to check and defend those kicks. Because why wouldn't you go back to that well if you're Dustin Poirier?
We're about to find out a lot more about who Conor McGregor is at this point in his career in this fight than in the second fight, in the fight that just happened. This is the
Yes.
fight where we will find out is the run coming to an end? Has he lost some miles on his fastball? All that stuff. We're about to find out how he
But where's the
responds.
boy though? Where's the boy named Diaz?